Champions League videocast. We've got a serious week of sport this week with the Masters, the Champions League, Europa
League, and of course the Grand National.
Grand National on Saturday. It's going to be a big one.
Yep, can't wait. And let's get stuck straight in, Jake. Let's
start with the two La Liga guys battling it out for the old
place
final.
In the semi-final.
Semi-final.
Yeah, Barcelona playing at home against Atletico Madrid. They've been made pretty firm favourites here, but I think that actually both teams to score here is a really good bet. 13-10 best price. Defensively, Barcelona have been far from convincing in recent weeks. I think that both teams will score at the Camp Nou on Tuesday night in this La Liga all quarter-final. Barcelona have kept just 2 clean sheets in the last 8 games, and historically Atletico have a decent goal-scoring record in this fixture too. Simeone's side have netted in 5 of their last 7 trips to Barcelona, and with away goals key in the Champions League, I think they'll be after a away goal at Camp Nou, especially with Barcelona conceding goals at the moment. They've conceded 4 goals in the last 2 games, including, of course, in the El Clasico on the weekend, where they were surprisingly beaten for the first time in 35 games, up against 10 men. Incredible result for Real Madrid. So I do think that the away side will net. They've got some pretty decent forward players, more than capable of scoring, and I think 13-10 on offer for both teams to score is pretty good value. Atletico Madrid have got one of the best defensive teams in the world.
Definitely.
But I do think that they'll concede here. Barcelona just don't not score at Camp Nou.
The best forwards in the world.
Exactly.
Ever, maybe.
MSN, as they're called. But yeah, 13-10 here. Both teams to score. First leg, many people will think it will be low scoring, and it may well be low scoring, but I do think both teams will score in this game.
13-10 is always a good prize for both teams to score. You don't usually see it that big.
Absolutely,
hardly ever. Should have been 3-1 as well, shouldn't it, in the El Clasico?
Bale's
goal
was
not a foul.
Poor old Bale, because can't catch a break.
Cannot catch a break at all. Next up, we got a kind of a bit of a mismatch between Bayern Munich and Benfica. The bookies have already basically say Bayern Munich are going to go through the price that they put them out. I saw earlier.
1-5, which is just not
obscene. Champions League quarter-final, 1-5.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a bit more value than that. But what's the best value bet in this, Ross?
Well, for me, it's Lewandowski. Every time that they play at the Allianz Arena, I always fancy betting on Lewandowski to score. But Benfica have only kept 2 clean sheets in the last 7 away games, so they won't fancy a clean sheet much at the Alliances. Their 3 scorers are Bayern Munich in front of their home fans, although they have only scored 2 goals in the last 2 games with 1-0 wins in the last 2 matches. So it may not be an absolute blitz like the bookies think, but I do think that Munich will score, and when they do score at the Allianz, undoubtedly the main man is Lewandowski. He's just an absolute machine. He's scored 42 goals in 44 games this season, which is a really good stat in itself.
Pretty brilliant. He scored 5 in 10 minutes.
He's got 5 in 10 minutes, which wasn't bad at all. But a lot of those goals do come at home. He's actually scored 22 goals in 20 games at the Allianz, more than 1 a game. So odds of 87-100 are fair. And I think up against a Benfica team that are struggling to keep clean sheets away from home, it's a pretty decent bet. He's the focal point of the attack. Thomas Müller and Robin and Ribery certainly offer decent attacking prowess also, but he is the main number 9 in that team, and he will hopefully, for me, get a goal. Although Benfica do have a slim bit of hope with the defensive problems at Bayern Munich, so they may get a goal, but I'd much rather go for 87-100 on the Polish international to score a goal.
You could stick that into an ACCA and it'll
certainly could
pull it up nicely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 87-100 for a guy that scored 42 goals in 44 games
not bad
against
at all,
Benfica, right? When they're 1-5. Nice one, I think. I'll put that into an Akumi, mate.
Yep.
Next up, this is the game. Everyone's going to be looking forward to this game. This is probably one of the big, other than Barcelona Atletico, which probably on par with that. I mean, PSG, Zlatan scored that insane hat trick the other day. That free kick, absolute bullet. I don't think I've ever
West Ham fans will be rubbing their hands with all the rumours that he's joining them in the summer.
That'd be weird, wouldn't it? Who's going to take free kicks? Payet or
absolutely, or maybe
Zlatan?
Or maybe it will be a swap.
Zlatan will not let anyone take free kicks, even if Payet is scoring regularly from 45 yards. Against City, who come back to form nicely recently, and Aguero scoring again. So looks like it's set to be a good game, Ross. But what's the best bet there?
Yeah, I think PSG have quite rightly been named favourites for this tie at home. They're a really decent side, available at 7 to 10 odds on, which is a fairly decent price. But I believe that you can get a better bet here. If you look at the both teams to score market, just like in the Barcelona game, there's a pretty decent bet here, even money, so not quite as good a price as the Barcelona game, and that's because PSG's defence has just been not up to much lately. They've actually kept just 2 clean sheets in the last 9 games, which is pretty poor for a multi-million-pound defence with all the money spent on that back line. However, they just outscore teams at the moment, don't they? But
they haven't got much opposition in France.
That's absolutely true, and you have to remember that Chelsea scored in both matches against PSG, home and away.
Yeah.
So Man City have certainly got the firepower to go to PSG and score at least once. Man City have actually only failed to net in 2 of the last 12 away league and cup games, so that shows that they have got the firepower, and of course they have got Kevin De Bruyne back now, who is just an absolutely impressive player for them.
He was so good last time, and they need him badly, don't they?
His injury in the Capital One Cup proved pivotal in their kind of downfall, I think, and he showed with just 1 game back that he's actually quite a good player. So he comes back and they win 4-0, and I don't think that's any coincidence at all. He's a really key player for them. And I certainly think this is a decent bet, much better than a 7 to 10 on the odds on favourites.
Yeah, 7. Yeah. Another one to add into a fourfold or something. Yeah, that's it. Or if you want to just, that seems really likely to me. I can't see Man City not scoring, especially with Kevin De Bruyne and Aguero back in form.
Yep.
And obviously you can't really not see PSG scoring at home. They're pretty much definitely going to score. So yeah, that seems about right. I think that's pretty good value. Last game now. Wednesday, 7:45, Wolfsburg versus Real Madrid. Like as we said earlier, coming back off that win in El Clasico, where they kind of the better team for the second half probably. But what do you think is the best bet here? Well, obviously they're favourites, but
yeah, favourites again, 3 to 4 best price. Wolfsburg are a pretty decent side at home. Not many teams beat them, but they don't face many teams with the quality of Real Madrid. And unfortunately for Wolfsburg, they're coming into this game on the back of 2 losses and a draw. Hardly confidence building for those fans and players themselves, whereas Real Madrid have won 6 in a row now. And I think the best bet here is to back Real Madrid in the half-time, full-time market. I think after a confidence building 2-1 win in the El Clasico, they're going to be full of confidence and they're going to come and strike early here. I can see them getting an early goal and just winning this game at a bit of a canter. So you can get them at a best price 17 to 10 to be winning at both half-time and full-time in that market. They've, as I said, they've won 6 matches on the bounce and they've been winning at half-time in 4 of those 6. So they do start well. And the teams that they've been struggling up against are the better sides like Barcelona, where they were drawing at half-time. So yeah, I think that's a decent bet for them to go to Germany, take an early lead and then take the win into the second leg.
Yeah.
Best price 17 to 10.
Do you think it will be? Yeah. Do you think it will be kind of quite an easy win? So a couple of goals, or
I'm not entirely sure if it will be an easy win, but I do think that they'll just start really well, and I think that maybe like a 1-0, 2-0, maybe something like that. Those are my picks for this week's action in the quarterfinals. I've got both teams to score in the Barcelona game. I've got Lewandowski anytime goal scorer in the Bayern Munich game. I've got both teams to score in the PSG game, and Real Madrid in the half-time, full-time market in the Real Madrid game.
Yes.
Which I'm looking in the app or on site now, where you can bet in your basket on site and on the app now. That's around a best price of 5 to 1, which is a pretty decent bet. For fingers crossed for myself, but I've also been looking into the outright market. You can get the favourites at a best price 17 to 10, which is Barcelona. I'm sure there'll be a few people that will be thinking about laying them after they finally lost a game.
Yeah.
And they've shown that they're not unbeatable.
17 to 10 is not value at all.
Yeah, with 8 teams left, 17 to 10 is a pretty short price. Second in the market is Bayern Munich. They're around 13 to 2. And Real Madrid, best price 6 to 1, which is a really good price, I think, with easyodds.com.
That's a brilliant price.
And if you fancy a bit of an upset in that Barcelona may not get past plucky Atletico Madrid because they're a really hard team to beat, and of course they have to go to their place in the second leg, which will be difficult. Best price on Atletico Madrid to win the Champions League is 22-1, which I think is a huge price if you fancy an outsider.
Yeah.
By all means, they may be out of the tie if Barcelona really turn up and win the game 4-0 in the first leg. But at this stage, they're in the tie. They haven't kicked off yet. So 22-1 is a clear, really good price, especially when you think that their worst price in our major season is 10-1. So that's more than doubling your odds there for a team that have proven they're a good side. They're second in La Liga at the moment. So they're higher than Real Madrid in the league table. So I don't see how they're 22-1 and Real Madrid are 6-1. Obviously, it's to do with the draw in terms of they're playing Wolfsburg and they're playing Barcelona. But if they get past Barcelona, that price will dwindle down to about 7 or 8, I'd imagine. So maybe get 22-1 now on a kind of shortish stake.
Yeah.
And that could prove to be a pretty nice windfall for you.
Yeah, it'll be exciting as well if they do get past Barcelona. You'd be thinking, yes,
absolutely.
22-1.
And the more that Diego Simeone is on my TV screen, all the better, because he's an absolute madman, isn't he?
He's a legend. Get him to the Prem.
Yeah, so those are my tips. Thanks very much for watching, and enjoy the Champions League this week. We will be back with my top Premier League tips later in the week, and we'll also have Jake Johns' tip for the Grand National, and he's in absolutely great form, including a 10-1 winner today and a 16-1 winner on the weekend. So don't miss out on that, and make sure that you hit that subscribe button on easyodds.com. I've been Ross Casey, and this is Jake Johns.
Bye.